actions or part of your police assignment to tell demonstrators in our city funny stories about how they could sabotage public life. I believe at that meeting it was also you who suggested that we drop the books and ropes.
Okay. Okay, this video is about awesome sound from the album The Pod by Ween. This is the backstory to that song. That song was inspired by a Charles Manson song called Brother Gun. Okay, it's one of the very first Charles Manson songs I ever heard when I was a little kid. And there was some kind of documentary playing on NPR or something like that about Charles Manson. And they were playing some of his music. And it was really early childhood. It was like in the 80s. And I'm listening to this song, Brother Gun, right? And it was sort of introduced by some precursory dialogue between him and somebody that he was talking to. Maybe the guy that was recording him in the studio or something. Where he starts by sort of explaining the dynamic of how he makes music and his ideal in context to not being pretentious and not having an agenda, not having a script and all of that sort of thing. So, you know, it started out with him sounding like, you know, he had a heart and everything, but then when I actually heard the song, at first it was kind of funny, but then he was like self-loathing and prattling, just like, I mean, prattle isn't necessarily a bad thing in music, but this particular song, this particular Charles Manson song was like one of the most depressing fucking things I ever heard. I was like, who the fuck gave him the fucking sources to do this? Who gave him the recording studio time and the freaking, you know, who let this guy do this? Who actually freaking like published this? You know, this is like this gross. It's like really low vibe, negative shit, you know. So then I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. You know, the guy was terminal, you know. But the way the song ended, after he's rambling off about Shirley Temple and shit like that, and then rambling off about how he wishes he could sing. He is singing, and he's singing that he wishes he could sing, but he wants to be more expressive, but it's in the night. Like, he's saying that, like, he's in a dark place and he can't really come out. I understood that. I heard that. And the way he ended the song was just by saying, like, the last line, the last words, the last two words that Charles Manson uttered in the song Brother Gun were awesome sound. It was like the end of a sentence that he was saying about how he wanted to manufacture something better. Yeah, and that was his idea. That was the only way that was the only words he could think of to articulate that was, you know, awesome sound. Is what he was trying to make, was an awesome sound. And those are the last two words in the song Brother Gun by Charles Manson, awesome sound. So I heard that, and I, to some extent, felt like empathy for the guy. However that sounds to you, whoever this is that's watching this or listening, but I made a song where I just took those two words and I turned it into a song or I'm just repeating, just chanting the words awesome sound over and over again. So that was the Ween song, Awesome Sound. Got an awesome sound, going down. Got an awesome sound, going down, you know. And I threw in a pork roll, egg, cheese, and bacon so he could have something to eat, you know, while he's trying to get motivated, you know. I know he died in jail and everything, lived the rest of his life in prison and died there too, but, you know, gave him a sandwich, you know, and an extension on his dream of having an awesome sound. And I felt like that was, you know, an extension of myself that was like beneficial in some way to just everyone in general. You know, that might otherwise just completely black out Charles Manson as just like, you know, a psychopath that freaking sent people out to commit murders and all that, you know, like he just went downhill, you know, and everything. That's what it is, but terrible tragedy and all that, but yeah, Awesome Sound was inspired by Charles Manson, and the very last thing he said in the song Brother Gun. And I don't know whether or not I explained that to the person that I gave the song to when I was giving somebody the song, you know, like, hey, check this song out I wrote, you know, this is the idea, I wrote it down on paper, and this is, you know, that's what you do, yada yada. I don't know if I added that as a liner note or a margin note or whatever about how I was inspired and motivated by Charles Manson to write that song, but that is the backstory. That was the thing that motivated me to write Awesome Sound. So anybody who's interested, listen to Brother Gun, listen to the recording, the studio recording, Brother Gun by Charles Manson. If you want some like overview or insight of any description into that, if you happen to be a fan of the song Awesome Sound by Ween, this may or may not change your mind, or it may or may not add some element of character to the knowledge that you currently have of, if any, what was behind Awesome Sound, beyond just like a silly, fun little thing that, you know, Mick and Aaron decided to put together for their record, The Pod. Which I believe that the very title of that record was also inspired by Charles Manson, because in my head I'm like seeing him sitting there in fucking, you know, a jail cell, The Pod, you know. I guess that's it. There isn't really anything more to extend on this one. Thank you for listening. This has been Idle Arrangement, YouTube, or wherever the hell I have this